With more than 60% of all ballots marked yes, Superintendent John Steach says the Envision Evergreen Facilities Bond is about to reshape the learning landscape for students for years to come, with an eye on making sure all students have equity and access when it comes to school facilities and building upgrades.
It's hard to find the words to share how exciting this is for not just our students, but our staff and the entire community. The bond package that has been supported by our community now is going to deal with some of the greatest inequities across our district, and not just in the buildings that are being replaced, especially some of our older elementary schools, but even for the newer buildings with some of the projects that we included in this bond.
The next days, months, and several years are going to be a buzz of activity all across our district. First up is issuing the bonds. Over the life of the bond measure, the district will sell bonds to investors a number of times, knowing that federal rules require the money in each bond sale be spent on bond-related projects within 3 years. The aim is to get the lowest interest rate possible, so taxpayers get as much return on their investment in schools as possible.
So what we really need to do is we need to look at our cash flow, try to make sure that we issue whatever the appropriate amount of bonds are to make sure we meet the 3-year requirement, but also looking at, because rates are low right now, trying to make sure that we're selling as much as we can to take advantage of the low interest rates.
Let's recap what the bond measure will do. The bond measure will replace 5 elementary schools: Sifton, Image, Ellsworth, Marion, and Burton, Wy'east Middle School, and Mountain View and Legacy High Schools. In addition, the district will build a brand new elementary school to handle student enrollment growth near the intersection of Northeast 162nd Avenue and Northeast 39th Street. The bond will also make it possible to build a wing at Heritage High School to get students out of portables on the north and east side of the school. The construction of a new Burton Elementary School on land where the current district headquarters sits will lead to the construction of a new multi-purpose campus combining the specialized programs of 49th Street Academy, Transitions, and Legacy High School, and the relocation of district offices. Our Director of Facilities says the first school rebuilds will begin in the spring of next year and stretch through the fall of 2023.
So the first 3 out of the chute will be Sifton. That should take some of the pressure off of the Pioneer area. The new elementary school on 39th and 162nd, again, will also take pressure off Pioneer, and then Image Elementary.
Casey Wy'east of LSW Architects tells us what he and his fellow architects will be aiming for in these new school designs.
I can imagine these schools are going to be ones that are just places that students love to go and be, welcoming. They feel safe and secure. I can imagine that, the technologies have changed so much in the last 10, 20 years. Really these schools are going to be ones that can provide choice, opportunities for students, perhaps even meet the needs of the family in a way that current schools are constrained and aren't best suited to.
To help future-proof existing buildings, every school in the district will see some sort of improvement, from roof replacement and new heating and cooling systems to expanded covered playground areas at elementary schools, improved athletic facilities at the high schools, and improved safety measures at all of our schools, such as redesigning the main entrance to create safer, more secure schools for students and staff. The bond also calls for the installation of new lighting and sound systems in all of our high school auditoriums, and new instruments for our music programs to replace aging ones that have seen decades of wear and tear. To keep up to date on the Envision Evergreen bond projects, keep checking our website, evergreenps.org/envision.